We'll get back to Chappelle. We're going to take you overseas now. There is a question that has been asked for me to ask you. Do you remember an incident when the governor of the jail in Indonesia was sacked for drug-related issues? You were actually asked to go to Indonesia, were you not?
That's correct. We were actually tipped off about that prior to the governor being sacked. We were tipped off some months beforehand that there was drugs being sold. We were actually told that there was drugs being manufactured in and around the rear of the prison, and we were never able to substantiate that as to whether that was true or not. Yes, well, we were asked to facilitate investigators to go over to Bali, to Kerobokan, and to investigate whether the Chappelle Corby was actually part of this drug distribution network operating inside of Kerobokan. It was considered to be too much of a coincidence that the jail that she was in was...
so not only were the media trying to stitch up the family in Australia, then they moved abroad to try to see if they could get some sort of connection with Chappelle with drugs inside the jail. That's what you're saying?
Yes, that's correct. Yes, that's right.
What they tried to do, they sent you to Indonesia to investigate whether there was any link with Chappelle Corby and the governor of the jail who was sacked for drug-related issues. Did you think that was rather bizarre, being as we all know there's a lot of drugs in that jail, but why would they want to link Chappelle with the governor?
Okay, first of all, sorry, it wasn't me. It was requested that I arrange for...
It was a request. Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, it was requested that I arrange for contractors to go over there.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to do that just due to family situations. I'd only just recently had a new baby, and I wasn't able to do that job. But other contractors did go over there.
What was the feedback from the contractors about the actual job they had to do? Did you get any feedback?
Yes, that there was no established connection whatsoever between the governor of Kerobokan dealing drugs and Chappelle Corby or any member of her family whatsoever. We interviewed several prisoners, people inside the jail, and also a female that was released from the jail. She is alleged, and we don't know if this is true or not, but she is alleged to be the person that actually tipped off the Indonesian authorities about the drug dealing in the jail, because her family were the ones that contacted us saying that they had their young daughter in the jail and the governor and other staff members are dealing drugs to the prisoners. When we heard that, of course, being the fact that Chappelle's in there as well, obviously some people decided that there might be a link between this, and were we able to have a look at this? So,
and your findings were?
That there was no link whatsoever between the governor and Chappelle Corby, that she was not part of any Kerobokan drug distribution network, neither was she associated with the governor in any way whatsoever. There was reward money offered to the prisoners.
Really? So they were offered an incentive to talk? Or?
Yes, they were. And no one, not one single person, pointed the finger at Chappelle or any Corby family member.
Did anybody collect the reward for dobbing anybody in that was responsible for the drugs?
No,
Nobody.
No, no. The reward was only is Chappelle connected? Is it a Corby family?
How much was the reward?
5,000.
That's a lot of money in Indonesia.
It is.
It's not a lot of money to somebody's in jail.
It's an enormous amount of money to someone in jail, especially in Indonesia. The Westerners were the ones that were first approached, and also some of the Bali 9 members, so you may be able to confirm it amongst some of the Bali 9 members, if they recall.
Yeah, and how would you have done that? I mean, how did you get into the jail to start with? Do you just got invited? Yeah?
It's pretty easy to get into Kerobokan. We call it asking nicely, but I think that is probably a bit trite or cute. What asking nicely means is normally there's an incentive, some sort of commission, an incentive. That might be generally an incentive is some sort of cash incentive.
Is it a large incentive?
No, they're pretty cheap, the Kerobokan guards. Yes,
okay.
$10, $20 Australian, $50 will get your camera in there as well.
Right.
I understand that things tightened up in the last 2 years. I don't know that.
Cameras and people sneaking in under incentives is what has actually driven Chappelle crazy. She's paranoid. Cameras everywhere.
Are they still allowing it, are they?
Yeah, it happens, not as much as it did, but it still does happen.
Right, okay. And at one stage a camera recorder was snuck into the jail and left in there for a couple of weeks, I think it was, or maybe a week or two. Yes, with tapes coming in and out.
In the girls section?
Yes.
Because that's the person you're involved, you'd be wanting to film, wouldn't it? Be Chappelle and in the girls section. So the camera was left in the girls section. A hidden camera?
Yes, it was
for
a hidden
up to
camera.
2 weeks.
What had it been?
Roundabout?
Yeah, it might have been closer to say about 9 or 10 days, but
all right.
Yeah, definitely a week, probably.
Who was aware of that camera? Were the guards aware of that camera?
Oh no, only one guard would have been. I imagine only one guard
would have been given incentive to keep an eye on that camera. Somebody would have to look after that camera, wouldn't they? I mean, what kind of camera is it?
Yes, we have some very small recording gear, smaller than the size of a cigarette packet in some instances.
So they would transmit outside of the transmit what they see outside of the jail?
We did transmitters were tried at one stage, but they're not successful. There's too many things that breach the transmission, that break it up. It operates on what's called 2.4 gigahertz, and it's not a very safe transmission frequency. It's not. It's a very popular one, and even in Indonesia. And we don't have a lot of success using it. Hardwiring.
So what I'm actually trying to get an impression of is that if the camera was in there for 10 days, somebody had to look after that camera for you. Someone had to change the batteries or change.
Oh yes, no, that was our guard.
Download the hard drives.
Oh, they were tapes.
Tapes,
yes, mini DV tapes. I don't know if you're familiar with those, but they're like a little cassette tape.
Yeah, I am familiar with that. So when Chappelle says, and as always said, she constantly feels like she's under camera surveillance, she's not actually telling lies, is she? She's not making it up.
No, that's right. No, she definitely was.
Because if that's what the media does, no wonder she's paranoid.
Well, and it was by people that she was associating with, girls that she was mixing with.
People she trusts.
I imagine so. Yes, I imagine so. The guard was actually responsible for taking the camera in and out of the jail as well.
Right.
So he would have been assisted. Well, he would have been carrying it in and out. Our people would have been changing tapes and batteries.
And he was being given an incentive to keep doing it.
Yes.
It's pretty awful,
But the idea behind it was to see whether there was information that was provided that Chappelle was doing drugs inside the jail.
Did you find, what did the tapes reveal? Anything?
Nothing.
She never caught her
doing
anything?
No.
What was she doing? What was she caught doing on the tapes? Just normal
talking, doing lots of talking.
Yeah.
I think at this stage she was studying something or trying to learn something. I remember going over part of the tapes and she was studying or learning something. Oh God, I'm tempted to say plucking her eyebrows, but I don't know.
Oh,
I mean,
all those girls pluck our eyebrows.
Well, yeah, it was, girl stuff.
I mean, what are you going to do when you're in jail? There's nothing to do, is there? Pluck your eyebrows, paint your fingernails.
That's it, and do them a dozen times over.
But you never witnessed any evidence of Chappelle doing anything other than what was normal.
No, and drugs were freely available in there.
And what would that covert operation have cost to do? Would around about a ballpark figure, that kind of operation would be how much?
Minimum 30,000. Probably be closer to about 40,000.
And over 10 days.
Yep. That's
so
of course
$40,000 to see if Chappelle Corby is linked with the governor of the jail who was done in drug-related issues.
That's correct.
Was that only one network or more than one network?
I can only speak on behalf of one network.
Yeah. Did you ever know of any other networks that could have been doing this kind of operation?
I knew about the print media. There was a print media outlet that was following it up as well.
You're not comfortable saying who they are?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.